This is another episode of our match prediction show. Yeah, this is a match day 7 predictions, and the teams I've selected for this match day 7 are Leeds versus Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal versus West Ham, Man United versus Sunderland, Chelsea versus Liverpool, Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest, and the final one is Brentford versus Manchester City. Yeah, but before we look at the match day 7 predictions, we'll have to go back and look at our match day 6 and see how I performed on our match day 6 prediction show. Yeah, on match day 6, I selected Brentford versus Manchester United, Chelsea versus Brighton, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, Man City versus Burnley, Tottenham versus Wolves, and the last one was Newcastle versus Arsenal. Let me see how I performed. Brentford versus Manchester United, very disappointing game. Very disappointing. And I predicted a 2-1 win for United, but Brentford ended up winning the game and they defeated Manchester United by 3-1. Chelsea versus Brighton, yeah, my prediction was 2-1, Chelsea to win, but Brighton defeated Chelsea 3-1. Crystal Palace Liverpool, I predicted, yeah, I knew that there was going to be an upset in this game. I said this game was Crystal Palace were going to end Liverpool's perfect start, but I predicted a draw 1-1. I thought the game was going to end in a draw, but Crystal Palace shocked me by defeating Liverpool, and Crystal Palace I later found out that Crystal Palace have gone 18 games now without losing. So that's the team in form, and they are the only unbeaten team in the Premier League as we speak. Then the next one I selected Man City versus Burnley. I predicted a 3-0, but the game ended 5-1. Yeah, that means I did well here. Then Tottenham Wolves, I predicted a 3-0 win for Tottenham, but the game ended 1-1. Newcastle versus Arsenal, I predicted a 2-1 win for Arsenal, and the game ended 2-1. I believe that's the only positive thing I can take from match day 6. I got my prediction right here. That's the Newcastle versus Arsenal game. That's the only positive thing that I'm taking from this match day 6. So let's go to our match day 7 predictions. I selected the first game is Leeds United versus Tottenham Hotspur. If we look at their head-to-heads, we have 6 wins for Leeds, 2 draws, and 10 wins for Spurs. In their last 5 meetings, Spurs have won 4 times. Leeds have only won once. 0 draws between these two sides. I just feel Thomas Frank will have to win. I just feel Thomas Frank will win this game. So Spurs are going to win by 2-1. That's my prediction for this game. Then Arsenal, West Ham. Yeah, I know that West Ham have sacked their former coach Graham Potter, and now they've appointed Nuno Espirito Santo as their new coach. If you look at their head-to-head, we have 31 wins for Arsenal, 9 draws, and 9 wins for West Ham. And if you look at their last 5 meetings, we have 2 wins for Arsenal, 0 draws, and 3 wins for West Ham. Last season, West Ham defeated Arsenal at the Emirates. Yeah, Nuno Espirito is a very, very good coach. You can see what he did last season with Nottingham Forest, but even in Nottingham Forest, it took him like a while for him to do what he did with Nottingham Forest. So I don't expect him to change everything overnight at West Ham. So I know that he's a good coach and he might make things difficult for Arsenal, but I don't see him beating Arsenal. I don't see him doing anything against Arsenal. So this match, Arsenal is going to beat West Ham by 3-1. Man United versus Sunderland. Oh my God. I can't vouch for Manchester United again. With all their displays, what they've been giving us on the field of play, I can't vouch for them. I can't. It's going to be a very difficult game for Manchester United. This game, very difficult game for Manchester United because this is a must-win game for them. They are under pressure. The coach is under pressure. Everybody is under pressure. So and they want to impress the fans this weekend. So if we look at their head-to-head, we have 22 wins for Manchester United, 6 draws, 5 wins for Sunderland. In their last 5 meetings, we have 4 wins for Man United, 0 draws, and 1 win for Sunderland. The last time Sunderland won United in the Premier League was in 2016. So it's been a long time. And with the way Manchester United is playing now, you don't know what to expect. The guys are just disappointed. So I feel this game is going to be a tight one, and I'm going for 3-2 Manchester United win. So the next game, which I feel is the big game of the weekend, Chelsea versus Liverpool. If you look at their head-to-head, we have 15 wins for Chelsea, 16 draws, and 19 wins for Liverpool. In their last 5 meetings, 1 win for Chelsea, 1 draw, and 3 wins for Liverpool. Both teams won at home last season. That's, yes, Chelsea won at Stamford Bridge, Liverpool won at Anfield last season. So this is, and Arne Slot just lost. And both coaches lost last weekend. So they'll do everything possible to right their wrongs this weekend. So this is going to be a difficult one for me to predict. I'm going for a draw. 2-2 draw. Chelsea Liverpool 2-2. So the next one we have a Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. With the nonsense, with the way Nottingham Forest is playing, Newcastle, I just feel Newcastle will beat them. That's why the fact that Newcastle too are struggling this season, they've not really gotten themselves right this season. I just feel Newcastle is going to beat Nottingham Forest with what Ange Postecoglou has not won any game since when he took over as the coach of Nottingham Forest. So Newcastle is going to beat. But before I give you my prediction, let's look at their head-to-head. We have 9 wins for Newcastle, 0 draws, and 5 wins for Forest. The last 5 meetings, we have 4 wins for Newcastle, 0 draws, and 1 win for Nottingham Forest. Newcastle won both legs last season. Home and away, they beat Nottingham Forest, and I feel they are going to beat Nottingham Forest again this weekend. And my prediction is 2-0. Newcastle to win by 2-0. So the final game that I selected is Brentford versus Manchester City. If you look at their head-to-head, we have 2 wins for Brentford, 1 draw, and 5 wins for Manchester City. Their last 5 meetings, we have 1 win for Brentford, 1 draw, and 3 wins for Manchester City. City won at Etihad last season, but they drew at Brentford last season. So yeah, Brentford only took a point from City the whole of last season. That's in the Premier League. But this one, with the momentum that City is carrying now, I feel City will win, and City is going to win by 3-1. That's my prediction. City to win by 3-2 now. Let's look at my predictions again all over. On Matchday 7 predictions. I selected Leeds versus Tottenham, and I predicted Spurs to win by 2-1. Arsenal versus West Ham, I predicted a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Then Man United versus Sunderland, like I said, it's going to be a difficult game for Manchester United because they're under pressure. So it's going to be a 3-2 win for Manchester United. Then Chelsea, Liverpool, both coaches lost last weekend, and they will try to do everything possible to win again this weekend. So I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. Everybody's going to go home with 1 point each. Then Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. We have, because of the way Ange Postecoglou has been playing, I feel that Newcastle will win, and my prediction is 2-0. Newcastle to win 2-0. And the last game I selected is Brentford versus Manchester City. My prediction is 3-1 win for Manchester City. So these are my picks for this weekend, guys. And I hope I perform well. Like on Matchday 6, I only got 1 prediction, right? That's the correct scoreline. And I hope I perform well this week. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like, and share this video.